Hi Haley fam, how you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing great. In today's video, we're gonna talk about the harsh truth about being lasted after but not being loved. Let's talk.
Men these days are so lustful. I don't even deal with them no more. Like, it's to the point where it's, oh, can I take you on a date? I be straight the fuck up. I'm not sleeping with you. I'm not. I done had so many men ask me to go on a date. We supposed to go on a date, and because I told them I'm not sleeping with them, they ghost me the day before the date. The day of the date. That's fine. Because the way men literally pretend to want you or to want a relationship just to sleep with you is crazy. Like, you don't have to go that far. If you just want to sleep with me, then you can just say that. I would respect that more than you lying like you want something and you really don't. And like, celibacy has just become so easy when you realize these men do not want nothing from you but your goods, and they don't be worth a motherfucking damn. But yeah, I just been knocking them out left and right. I'll be straight the fuck up. I'm not sleeping with you. Can we go on a date? Not sleeping with you.
Let me tell you something about men, okay? If that man sleeps with you and then he act funny, it's because he realized he did not like you until when he finished, quote unquote. I'm hitting around with the words. When he finished after doing the do, he figured out he didn't like you because he has a problem with lust. He don't have an attraction to women in that area right now. He has a strong spirit of lust. So when he's finished, just like when people who watch pornography, when they're finished, you feel like, ugh, why did I do that? That's the same thing. It's the same thing. Lust. Flee lust. This is why you shouldn't be opening your legs. This is why you shouldn't be watching porn. Okay? But this is a clear sign if you're a woman and you know that a man is acting funny after you done gave him the boom boom. It's because he finished and he realized he had no attraction to you, and he's just gonna continue to be stuck in these loops with women. That's why you should have never gave it away, but I understand. But you need to not do it again. Okay, just work on yourself. But the word is lust. That's the reason why, and he's gonna keep doing that with multiple women until he figures out I got a problem. Okay?
I see on this topic of the truth about men lasting over women is that of the three core points that I always talk about. Men value sex meaning status with whatever. They get bored easy. They want different hot pots. They might have the egos bruised or whatever might be going on, or whatever current relationship or past relationships that they might be in. So it's all about selfishness, getting their needs met by any means necessary as quickly as possible to get that dopamine hit, to get that fix. So the three: sex, selfishness, and status. So sometimes they might move from one woman to another. It might not necessarily be a younger woman. Sometimes it could be a younger woman that they move on to because they're more gullible, easier to control, easier to manipulate. They might travel to a different state, a different country to seek out the pleasure. It's all about pleasure. Now, this doesn't villainize men by any means, but it's just necessary for women to realize how the man's brain functions versus the woman's brain from a psychological standpoint. So you see their patterns, you see what they're giving you, and you make the choice. Okay, I can deal with this BS. Okay, I can parallelly deal with this BS by maybe getting your needs met. What are your needs? So you have to know yourself too. What are your needs? Do you have financial needs from this man? Do you need physical needs from this man? Outings from this man? Shopping from this man? What are your needs? You need your kids taken care of by this man. And you can tell me all you want. Oh, relationship don't need to be transactional. It has to be love, blah, blah, blah. Find that love in other things. Traveling on your own, finding some good community, girlfriends, getting into a course, hobbies, finding a pet, family members, that kind of thing. So you find your other needs met outside of that. But if the relationship starts to get very toxic, unstable, they're constantly picking at you, devaluing you, like if it's that level of toxic, you have to know to run, to set your boundaries. And that's where the physical boundary needs to be set, because you have to safeguard yourself. If you have kids, you have to safeguard the children as well. So yes, of course, a lot of relationships to some degree are transactional, and understanding how the man's brain work, a lot of men last after women's bodies. It doesn't even have to be about looks. It's about the change. This is why men chase about after different hobbies, after side chicks, after a new experience, about a new car, about a motorcycle, about a new something, new guy friend, a new friend, blah, blah, blah. It's a constant change where women are more loyal to being monogamous, to be one way, but being able to kind of pivot around that one way of doing things. But men like to be impulsive. It's that lack of sitting in the discomfort of doing the perceived hard thing. So just understanding that men are mostly wired for that. But if your pattern, your tolerance, your ability, your bandwidth to tolerate a man who is constantly lasting or have lasting behavior, so what you sitting there and crying and you know, complaining. Yes, you can talk about it. That's what therapy is about. But you talk about it, but you find strategies, intentional, actionable steps to deal so it does not eat you up. Radical acceptance of what it is. Not all men, but a lot of men have that tendency. Some people a lot more than others. Some might have more reservation to have that control. Maybe they go into corn rather than doing the actual side chick, lasting after another woman. They might appreciate looking up at a beautiful woman or a different woman who might look differently than their established girlfriend, fiance, or wife, but doesn't stop them from admiring, oh, she has nice boobs or she has big butts or blah, blah, blah. You can see them and shame them from doing that. What are your choices, your accountability to yourself, your agency about what your next steps look like regarding what is being shown to you? So that's my take on that from the psychological standpoint. And acceptance, get your needs met in different ways. Look at it, see, does it resonate with you? Would it work with you? Do you have the bandwidth for that? How do you manage it? And if it's unmanageable, knowing you have the agency to pivot to nest, move to nest, have an abundance mindset that you can look this way or that way, and maybe you can find that person that maybe closely meet your values than, butting heads or forever. Options are to separate. Options are to divorce. Options are to break up. And as much as it's painful, there's beautiful things that happen outside of that. But accepting the fact that a lot of men, majority of men, do last. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Okay, bye.
Some of you out here are really dating lustful men. I promise you right now, I need you to wake up, because that lustful man who is liking pictures on Instagram, who's commenting on other women in front of you, who is into corn, these types of men are going to make your life a living hell. And they are not going to make you a prize in their eyes. Like, they are the type of men that will cheat on you. And it's crazy that a lot of women out here are dating these lustful men. They know they are dating these types of men. And I promise you, you're just not doing yourself any favors. We've completely normalized in society that men are men and that we're just supposed to accept how they are. When in reality, there are so many men out there where they are devoted to their girlfriend, they're devoted to their wife, and they don't have eyes for anybody else. And I feel like a lot of you guys need to date men that clearly with their actions are showing you that they're
fully invested in you and their eye is not anywhere else, like that wandering eye. Dating a guy with a wandering eye is not normal. It's not okay. I mean, yeah, it's normalized, but that's not something that you should accept in your relationship with a guy. When you see this kind of behavior, it is not going to change. He will continue to be lustful and have a wandering eye for the remaining time of your relationship. These men are natural cheaters, and although that they're just looking, that's only the first step for them to move it to the next step, which is like physical or even emotional cheating, okay? So you need to be very careful and watch out for certain characteristics that this guy does in front of you. If you see that he always has a wandering eye, checking out other girls, liking pictures in someone's DMs, liking stories, you need to break up with him. It's never going to change, and he is definitely going to make you question yourself a lot in this relationship. You don't need to put up with it. It's not something you should accept. Find someone that only has eyes for you, those pure intentions for you, and only wants to make you their world. Focus on those types of characteristics, and you're going to have longevity with this type of guy, and you'll be a lot happier and not have anxiety.
A lustful man is dumber than a bag of rocks. They are so in this trap of just being captivated by a woman's body. A lustful man will give up his entire life. He'll end up in this nasty divorce where he loses half of everything because he couldn't exercise self-control. A lustful man will chase after a woman that could not care less about him, sacrificing the relationship with his wife, with his kids. There's married men with families that'll get caught with these secret porn addictions. And the media and algorithms, they know that there are so many men that are so foolish that it will target you because you're such an easy target to prey on. If I was a man, I would be so offended that people thought I was that dumb that I'll just always click, click, click and fall into this trap of lust and addiction. Whenever men will pay for like girlfriend service on these porn sites, a lot of these porn stars will admit like it's not even them they're talking to. It's people they've hired because they can't talk to every single guy. But men who are stuck in lust are so delusional. They think that this woman who sees you as a paycheck actually cares about you. It's crazy. Like, that's something that I don't think is talked about enough, is that if you fall into the trap of lust, the joke's on you. You're the fool. A lustful man is so easy to target, to take advantage of, to make a profit off of, because they don't exercise self-control. They're captivated by any beautiful woman, and they don't care if she's a terrible person. They don't care if she's going to destroy their life, destroy the home that they've created. Stay away from lustful men.
Okay, so I know I'm not alone in this, so I wanted to share. Most of my life, the men that I've dated, they have been from lustful attractions. So upon meeting these people, my flesh was on fire. I wanted to jump their bones. It was just instant attachment. I wanted them so bad. And I just felt like, oh my God, there's a connection that I've never experienced before, but it was all a lie because I've experienced that same connection all the time. And then eventually when I healed and got to the root of it, I'm like, oh my God, that's just lust. That's what my flesh wants, but that's not necessarily what's healthy. So now, because I'm trying to date healthier, I noticed that when someone's a safer choice, my flesh doesn't go on fire. I'm not instantly attached. I can pace myself. I have more peace. I have less anxiety. And it feels weird. It feels uncomfortable, but I'm like, oh my God, that's what dating safely looks like. That's what a healthy attachment looks like. Okay, I'm doing it. So I just wanted to let people know, if you're having to break a cycle where you feel like usually you date the wrong people, usually you have all of this anxiety in dating, you typically meet people and you move really fast and you're super attracted to them and you're trying to jump their bones upon the first meeting, it's probably a lustful attraction. And if you have that reoccurring, you probably need to date someone who makes you feel safer, who makes you feel less crazy and less anxious. So yeah, hopefully that helps somebody.
Here are some signs you're dealing with a man who has a lusty, nasty, dirty, a lustful spirit. Because everything manifests in the mind, aka the spirit first. From my experience, the first indication that you're dealing with a man who struggles with lust is he will pin you against other women. Let's use Drake and Future as examples, right? Since Future's a trending topic right now. You notice in their music how they're always talking about women's friends, or if you ain't serious, tell your friend take her fine ass home, or your friends ain't your friends, or all your friends asking for the Wi-Fi. Friends. These men will pin you against other women so that you compete for their validation, for their attention. They will pillow talk with you about other women, and they try to act like they're downplaying these women, right? They will badmouth these women like, oh, nah, she did it the whole time he be sleeping with these women. And it's to get you to compete with them for his attention. Or if he leads with a sob story about his ex, like, yeah, my ex just played me, or, he's always finding a way to make himself the victim. Like, this is why I don't mess with a lot of people. This is why I don't got no friends. That's typically manipulation. It's so when his spirit starts to show its head, your first reaction to it, instead of like backing up, it's like, oh no, I'm not like your ex. I'm not like these other women. You're trying to prove you're different than them. And why is this lustful, right? Because a man who truly desires you is only going to see you. He's only going to see you, and he's going to want to be in good with your friends. He is not going to try to isolate you from them. This is another reason why I say a lot of lustful men are just straight up narcissists, because they want to be able to have access to multiple women. I can't have access to multiple women a lot of times if they are communicating with each other. And how do I get them to not communicate with each other? I make them enemies. I tell you your friends are fake. They're just hating on you, so that you don't tell them about me. Because if you tell them about what I'm putting you through, or you get too many people in your ear, you will see that I'm really just a lust demon. Another reason why it's lustful is because who the hell wants to have to worry about the man they're dating or seeing hitting on a homegirl, hitting on their friends? When I was dating the Virgo, and I'm only calling him the Virgo because I don't want to use his name, for all the men in my comments like, are you blaming Virgos? No, like, y'all are slow. But when I was dating the Virgo, that was something always in the back of my mind. Like, even when I was with my homegirls or with a nice looking group of girls, like, oh my God, he would try to hit on her, right? And embarrass me. That's lustful. That's dirty. That's nasty. Like, have some fucking decorum about yourself. You can't even restrain yourself. I got to worry about you hitting on my friend. And again, this is why I say the spirit of lust manifests into women as confusion. And being confused about where you stand with a person will have your ass out here insecure. Another sign you're dealing with a man who struggles with lust is you only feel safe in his presence. Yeah, you only feel safe when you can physically see what the hell he's doing. The moment you leave his presence, baby, your whole nervous system is out of whack. You're overanalyzing everything he said, everything you said. You're ruminating on y'all exchange. Is that the word? Ruminating when you just keep thinking about it over and over and over. That's not a good sign all the time. He's either A, struggling with lust, because lustful men have a lot of different energies on them, a lot of different spirits on them that just, I can't even explain it. It's just like you can't think straight. Or he's just emotionally unavailable. Emotionally unavailable men, when you're dealing with them, you are always trying to pick their brain because they're never being straight up. So if you find yourself, analyzing everything this person says, just walk away. They're not available. And last but not least, you feel drained after y'all have intercourse. You feel drained and a little bit of shame. Contrary to popular belief, during intercourse, it is the woman who is siphoning the man's energy. Okay, let's be clear. We are in control, baby. Because a lot of men, 80%, 85%, 90% of the time is not even getting a woman to her peak. She's not even hitting her peak. So we're not being siphoned. And I'm going to say this might be a whole other video. I'm a firm believer that if a man cannot get you to your peak, he's not meant to. Do not be trying to get yourself there, because then he takes your energy and now you wondering why you attached to this man. If he can't get you there, he ain't supposed to get you there, okay? But during intercourse with a man, you should leave feeling energized, feeling up, feeling excited, feeling ready to conquer the day. When you're sleeping with a man who struggles with lust, oh baby, it's not peaceful, because he's really messing up your sacral chakra. Right? And the sacral is where your confidence is. It's where your creation is, where your sexual energy is. So if you are sleeping with a man who truly loves you and desires you, he will like just open that chakra up, and you energize, and you want to create, you want to go make some art. But if he is dealing with the spirit of lust, you will feel depleted. You will feel tired. You will feel drained. You will feel confused. And you'll feel a lick of shame. And like I said, be careful dealing with these type of men, especially if you are a high priestess. If you are a boss in this world, you are a woman with higher ranking, right? Just, you know yourself, you confident, because these type of men do the devil's work. I'm telling you, they come into your life just to cause confusion, just to cause chaos. Baby, y'all be thinking these men are players, straight P. Whole time he's just battling the spirit of lust. Be thinking these men got game, and all he really got is a damn demon on his back. Because the spirit of lust in a man feels very demonic. It does. It feels like the spirit of jealousy in a woman. And y'all know how scary it is dealing with a woman who is jealous of you. Baby, she will try to ruin your life. Same with men who battle with the spirit of lust. When I was dealing with a man who, you know, had a lusty spirit, if y'all not new here, the Virgo, I always talk about trying to ruin my life. Yeah, that's because he was battling the spirit of lust. He did not like me. He did not love me. He lusted after me. And because of that, he did not see me as human, right? Because the spirit of lust is very animalistic. It's like he wants to devour you. And not in a good way. This man tried to ruin my life. I don't have to tell y'all specifically what he tried to do, but he tried to ruin my life. And it's because he lusted after me. I want to control you. I want to have access to your body, but I don't care about you. Because if I cared about you, I wouldn't be trying to ruin your fucking life. This is why, as a woman, you have to be careful basing your brand, basing your life, basing anything just off of simply being beautiful. Because you will look up and you will be surrounded by vultures. You will be surrounded by men who do not really see you as a human. They see you as something to eat. When Gorgeous Doll told that story, because clearly all this content is being inspired by her story times, baby, because they're very triggering for me as a woman who dealt with a man who battled the spirit of lust. When she told that story about her walking in on him having, 3 women, it made me sick to my stomach. Because who in a right mind would fly a woman out, have her on a jet with you, get her a room down a hall from you, know she's going to be in your vicinity just to do something like that? That is not a man who cares about you. That is a man who is lusting after you. And these type of men will hurt you. I get it. Y'all gonna get on here and say, well, she knew what she signed up for. Okay, that's such an outdated ass take. And I want y'all to know those takes uphold the fucking patriarchy, because it absolves the man of any fucking responsibility or accountability. I get it. Me personally, I don't know what y'all would expect from a man like that. But when we are observing his actions alone, that's not a man who's player. That is a man who is battling the spirit of lust. Another example is him and Sierra. This man said, if smashing these hoes mean that much to you, my love don't mean that much to you. Yes, I listen to Future. And that album after him and Sierra broke up, baby, T basically told this woman, I love you. I want to be with you. I care about you, but I cannot control my own fucking urges. Typically, these men want love. They want devotion. They want connection. Future says this in his music. But because they are battling the spirit of lust, they cannot give that to another woman. But they want that from the women they're around. It's a one-way street. And dealing with these type of men will drain you. It will drain you. I honestly don't know how sis was doing it for 5 years. You dealing with these type of men is how you miss out on your husband. Y'all see what Sierra did. She seen who he truly was, because it's easy for a man to come off charming in the beginning. A lot of times he's just mirroring you as a woman. As I've been dating as an adult, I realize a lot of men don't have their own identity. They just mix up all the personalities of the women they've been with. So he will mirror you. He will come off charming and nice. But then once that spirit creep his head, yeah, Sierra got the fuck up out of there. And that's what you're supposed to do. Get what you gonna get. I'm not judging. And then leave. You do not want to be battling with this spirit in a man, because how it manifests in a woman, it's like an outer body experience. You will look up and be doing things you never do. Like, bitch, I don't give a damn about what another bitch is doing. But when I was dealing with a man who was battling the spirit of lust, I caught myself wondering who was talking about me or checking another woman's Instagram, constantly trying to change my look, or because it manifests in you as a woman as a spirit of insecurity. Because I don't think the average woman typically operates from that spirit. Me personally, I can't lust after somebody I don't love. There has to be some love involved. There has to be a connection. That's not required for a man. Again, you're like his food. And as a woman, that's very unnatural because we are wired to love and nurture. So you sleeping with a man who's battling that spirit, baby, you will crash out. You will look up and be doing things you typically wouldn't do. You will lose yourself. So be careful dealing with these type of men. They are not players. Some of the most player men I've ever met, you would never know who he's sleeping with. The women he's dealt with would never even feel the need to expose him because he's done more good for them than bad. These men are not players. They're dealing with demons. They need Jesus.
If you don't know how to detect a lustful man, you could be talking to a man and you might be thinking that he's genuinely interested in you, when in our reality, he just has lust for you. So I'm going to tell you guys how a lustful man operates, how they think, why they do what they do, and how you can detect a lustful man so you avoid him, because lustful men are not to be trusted. One of the main things that a lot of lustful men have in common is they try to move quickly because they have a fantasy about you that they want to fulfill. So the quicker they get to that fantasy, the better it is for them. Lustful men do not prioritize connections or bonds with women. They only prioritize that selfish internal desire that they have for her, that they want to make happen through that fantasy. A lustful man's feelings for you are purely fantasy driven. So he's going to try to get as much out of you as he can before reality comes crashing back in. And this is exactly why a lot of lustful men move quickly. Let's say you're on date 2 or you're on date 3 with this man, and he starts telling you phrases like, I feel like I've known you for so long. I feel like I connect really well with you. I vibe with you like I don't vibe with anybody else. He might even tell you that he loves you. If he says that shit on date 2 or date 3, lustful man, because why is he telling you all these things and he barely even knows you? Love grows over time, and if he's not building a connection with you by actually getting to know you and who you are, it's probably because it's more than likely based on sexual attraction. So he's going to try to get it quick instead of trying to get to know you. Another thing lustful men do is they'll only hit you up when it's a last minute plan, and they don't really plan actual dates out to get to know you because they're more than likely just trying to see you so they can hook up with you. If he's not actively planning out organized dates, trying to actually see you and making some sort of effort to reach out to you to actually get to know you, more than likely based on lust. If he's in lust, he's not going to ask about your life or bother to know anything about you beyond the physical. But if he's genuinely interested in you, he's going to ask more things about you because he wants to get to know who you are. If he's in lust, he's not going to bother to introduce you to the important people in his life because he doesn't see you as somebody important. He doesn't see you as a priority. But if he sees you as a priority, and if he sees you as somebody important in his life, he's going to introduce you to other important people in his life. And the biggest sign that a man is lustful is he will try to get touchy with you really early on. And this can range from a hug to a little tap on your shoulder, a little tap on your leg, a little pat on your back, anything physical. A lustful man will try to make it as physical as possible, as quick as possible.
Listen, understand that men who always avoid dates but try to invite themselves to your house are broke, lustful, or hiding something. Or all three of them. Nobody has time for that. No, you're not making your way to my house. There's nothing over there. It's a bed, a couch, a living room, a dining room, and a whole bunch of other stuff that you, in fact, did not pay for. My thing is this. Y'all be on weird type of timing with people when if you was grown and you had it like that, you would say what your intent is. But y'all so silly that y'all make it so obvious what type of time y'all on. There's no man in this world who has not courted me and was ever able to come to my crib. I need to get courted, I need to get to know you, and I need to trust you. Y'all just be trying to come over strange women's house. Now, when y'all get set up and something happen to y'all because y'all lustful and y'all thirsty, nobody can feel bad for you. That's what you get. That's what you get, boo. Stop being weird and being cheap and lustful. If you cannot afford a date, stop trying to invite yourself to a woman's house. The least you could do is be thoughtful and say, let me put together a little picnic. We can go to a little park. I don't know anything. Y'all be so weird. No, you're not coming to my house.